Let's go.
It's happening.
Let's go.
How are we?
Fine.
Could
Fine.
you liven up, please?
Okay. Fine.
Oh, Jesus. What's happening? What's your
nothing
2022?
bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing bad.
All
Good
right.
things. It's January 23rd. It'll be the 24th when this is uploaded.
Yeah.
I just remembered now the 23rd. It's my friend Katie's birthday, and I was going to call her after work.
Oh, happy birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday, Katie.
This is
And
dedicated to her. Send her this video.
Happy birthday, Katie.
Honestly.
I forgot to call her after work. So now I'm like feeling guilty. And now like the weekend's over. So I'm going to have to like wait to talk to her on the phone like to the next weekend. Like,
That's okay. Is she busy during the week? She couldn't call her during the week?
she's very busy. She's a big old scientist and also just gave birth to a child.
Oh,
Well,
wait. Have I met Katie?
You met Katie.
Oh, I love Katie.
Katie was in a 2 Gay Mats video.
She's great.
Yeah, she didn't just give birth. The baby was born in like July, but you know.
That's recently.
Or August, beginning of August. Ooh, I forget. Sorry, Katie.
Missed her birthday, now her babies.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, Katie.
Poor Katie's family.
I love Katie. I love her. I love her.
We love Katie.
We love Katie.
Great.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another 2 Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Steele.
It's Matt Palmer.
Another week has gone by. We are deep into January. Matt Palmer is deep into his whole 30. It is, we only have like a week left, right?
It's true. It's like 9 more days and then we're through the woods, darling.
And then you're going to have some peanut butter cups.
Oh my God, I'm going to have peanut butter cups. I'm going to have a glass of champagne. I'm telling you, 1/3 of it, I'm like, woo!
I'm excited for a very, very drunk February for you.
It'll be great. Yes. And we'll just completely undo everything we've done over the past 30 days. That's the plan, at least.
But then that way you can do it again in March. The odd months of the year will be your whole 30 months.
I don't foresee that.
Okay.
I think it'll be more like, honestly, the good thing that's come out of the whole 30 is like we have new healthy-ish meals that we would not have made otherwise that are going to be added to the repertoire. Because you know me, I could eat the same thing every day.
Yes, and you do often. I will say in the 10 years I have known you, it used to literally just be turkey burgers every single day, and now you have graduated to many things.
I have. And even when we were living together, I was told by other people in this apartment that we would still need to expand once we moved in together.
Yes.
And so this whole 30 has been the quickest like expansion of the food. And honestly, we found some great stuff. We have like a whole 30 approved salmon Florentine moment. So there's like garlic and mushrooms on the salmon and like a nice coconut cream sauce. And I'm like, you know what? This is great.
All right. I know you like salmon. All you got to do is just add a couple new things to the salmon and it's a whole new thing. Is there like something brand new that you've never had before that you have had for the first time during your whole 30 experience?
I mean, yes, we have had a lot of, are those shoes new?
Those shoes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're new.
Oh, no, so I just saw them.
Actually, they're like 2 months old, but I don't wear them that often.
They look great.
They're very white.
They're very white.
crisp.
Much like my sweater. Sorry, we got on a tangent.
Yeah, sorry. He saw my shoes in the corner of the room.
I did. Yes, I feel like just tonight we have made, Jackson made. I was cleaning and doing the dishes, so I did do my part.
I'm all about someone else cooking and me cleaning.
Exactly.
All about that.
And so I was like a sweet potato based chili that lasts for like a week. And so throughout the week, we'll be going and getting that for lunch, which is just easy and nice. And you know what? Once we've gotten into it, it's been less and less of a chore, honestly, the whole 30. So if you got 30 days and you feel like you've had cake for 12 days straight, like I did after the holidays, I'd recommend that.
Okay.
It's fine. It's like the first few days up to a week were like tough, but once you get through that, you can get through anything.
And look at you. You're a new guy. Your insides are all fresh and new, just like your crisp white shirt.
Thank
if you're
you.
watching, you see it's very white shirt.
And your white shoes, which
and
you
my
can't see,
K-Swiss.
but just believe me, very white. Matt Steele.
Yes.
How are you?
Speaking of very white, it is winter time and I'm a redhead, so everything is pasty today.
Yes.
I am doing well. I had a lovely week. For the first time in 2022, I saw friends who were not Matt Palmer at the podcast recordings or 2 Gay Mats recordings or my coworkers. Like I actually went out and did things with my friends.
Look at you.
Twice in 1 week.
Same friends? Matt Bridges?
Different friends. Matt Bridges, yes. Matt Bridges and Greg one day.
Yes.
And then my friends Lauren and Megan another day.
Oh my gosh.
Got food both of these days and then just like sat and talked. And it was like, remember like me having a social life before Omicron?
That's the thing. Omicron really hit at the wrong time.
Yeah, but I mean, it always hits at the wrong time. All the variants hit at the wrong time because every time is the wrong time.
It's true. But it's one of those things where you're trying to be like, oh, it's a new year, new me, try to be social, but it's like, we're only doing things outside. It's a little like chilly, especially at night. It's like a little colder than you want it to be outside the whole time. But I'm glad you got to do that. Where did you guys go? What did you do?
Oh, we literally just got food.
Hey,
like we literally got food and chatted. And like, that's all a girl needs.
I mean,
that's literally, me. And like, how like you have these friends who are always like, oh, let's do this crazy thing where you have to spend a lot of money, or this crazy thing where you have to like see a whole group of people. It's like, I like when it comes to hanging out with friends, I'm like, can't we just like eat food and chat? I'm all about that.
Who dislikes that? That's what people want.
That is what I love more than anything.
Well, I'm glad you're getting your social exercise. That's great.
What did you do this week besides eat Whole30 things?
I ate Whole30 things. I also, we watched a film, which will come up a little bit later. A film that I enjoyed. What else did we do this week? We went and saw Waitress. We saw Waitress in Thousand Oaks, which was a Christmas gift that I gave to Jackson, and we saw it. And it was like a 45-minute drive there. We get there. Oh my goodness. What a show. I'd only listened to the score. Is that what we call it? I was like,
it is a score, yes, but we would call it like a cast recording.
I almost said soundtrack.
Yeah, I would have.
That's why I was
turned off the podcast.
Getting frightened because I was told I'd get, my head blown up.
Some people say cast album, which like I didn't grow up saying. I say cast recording myself. Some people say show album, and I'm like, no, I hate that.
Well, I was familiar with the cast recording, but I had not seen like the scenes in between that like told the story of Waitress, and it was really, really lovely, especially the actress who had Jesse Mueller's role, like the main character. Oh my God, a vocal. And then also it's just like, if you like, you should only be allowed to sing She Used to Be Mine if you can really fucking sing. Okay. And she could.
Okay.
It's like when you saw Kelly Clarkson do it on her show the other week. And I think I have a video of Shoshana Bean doing it. And both of those are exceptional. Jesse Mueller, of course. And this young lady whose name I'm sorry I don't know. But whoever's the lead in the national tour of Waitress knocks it out of the park. She does a great job. As does the Becky, who is like the Keala Settle character.
Okay.
Sings I Didn't Plan It. And she was like belting higher than Keala was. Like, it's like Keala was in her head or mixing, and this young lady was belting. And I was
full
like,
chest, no pingy mix.
But she was an Effie. So it's like, if you can do Effie White, if you can do And I'm Telling You, you could do Becky with your eyes closed. But she did a brilliant job. It was a brilliant show.
Was this your return to the theater?
It had to have been. I'm trying to think the last thing I saw at like a theater show. I can't even think. It must have been, we saw Love Actually live at the Christmas 2019. I don't know if we're really going to call that theater, but it was fun.
Okay.
It was fun.
Fun. We love fun.
We're here for fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to discuss before we dive into news?
I don't think so. I'm just hoping that we're staying in focus for this so we don't have to like re-record it like how we did last.
Yes. We did a Zara Larson video if you haven't seen it. And Matt Steele, as he like was 15 minutes down the road, I had to call him and be like, hey, it's out of focus.
And so I had to drive all the way back, but it's fine. I got to listen to the Kylie Minogue album Disco again, because after listening to Zara Larson, I was in the mood for that album again. And fuck, what an album. My coworker today walked up to me and was like, what are you thinking about? And I just went, Kylie Minogue. and he was just like, who? And I was like, Kylie Minogue. And he was like, is that a new Jenner?
Oh my God.
And I was like, no, she sang Can't Get You Out of My Head.
How old is this person?
Like 24, 25.
So he was how old when that song came out?
I don't know.
Like maybe single digits for sure. Maybe
26. I forgot. I don't know. And he was like, I don't know that song. And I was like, come on, na, 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 na. And he's like, oh, I know that song. And I was like, it's the same song I just sang to you, but it's fine.
Yes, excellent. We love Kylie. And I'm glad you got to listen to more of that than you would have had, our recording worked correctly. Okay, the first news story is honestly just something you retweeted, and it seems like there's going to be a lot of discourse around it. What is up with the Daily Beast?
Period. What is up with the Daily Beast?
Maybe that's the question.
That's the problem.
Like, I feel like they've written this article in which no one was talking about this topic. Rachel Zegler, who is the star of West Side Story, and how she is becoming the new Anne Hathaway, the theater kid actress people online love to hate. I feel like I am not, of course, in the middle of theater Twitter like you are, but I'm an offshoot. I've heard no one say that.
No one is talking about that.
Like, that is, like, Rachel Zegler seems nice and is talented, and she, I think, recently did a dramatic reading of a Britney, like, post, like, in Britney Instagram comment. That's the online chatter about Rachel Zegler that I know. And she's also a child, right?
Yeah, she's very young. She's like 20 or maybe 21 now. I don't know.
Why would the Daily Beast spend their time trying to like vilify this person about something that honestly Anne Hathaway probably shouldn't have been vilified for back in the day, back in 2013?
Of course she shouldn't have. It's all a rag. The Daily Beast is fucking trash. Like they literally just wrote this article just to be mean to this poor girl.
I know.
Like, get out of here.
And it's like maybe we're giving. So like, okay, don't read the piece. Don't give it clicks. So because I don't want to like give them what they want, which is like to start this discourse, but like, what is the point of this?
To just be rude and to be like, oh no, a girl who's nice.
Exactly.
And like polished in her like performance.
Right.
Like, get out of here.
It just is crazy. And I'm glad that there is backlash to the piece, as there should be.
Yeah. And I think theater people, since like people are just hating on theater kids, it's time for theater kids to start hating other people. It's time.
But honestly, you should just hate the Daily Beast because people aren't hating on theater kids. Like, Glee's not out. Like, this is not relevant.
Yeah.
Like, she just seems like a nice girl who did a good job in a movie that's really good and people have not seen it and they should. So, Team Rachel Zegler, we like you.
Yeah, I hate it when I feel like people are just attacking people for no reason.
Right.
It's just like completely useless and ridiculous.
Well, fuck the Daily Beast is what we have to say about that. Did you watch that Adele video?
Oh, I didn't watch the actual video, but I'm sure she was so sad.
She was torn up. So Adele had announced this week that she was rescheduling the dates for her residency because her team has been recovering from COVID and just were not able to get it all together. She did announce this the day before opening day. Oh. So she was just so sad and like brokenhearted and crying into her little, MacBook Pro camera, which she is wont to do when singing To Be Loved or when giving this kind of announcements. And it is just so heartbreaking because, you never want to see Adele upset. And you can tell that she is so sad to have let her fans down. Mm-hmm. But luckily, I feel like I saw her tweet out something recently that was like, you all have been so lovely to me about this. Like, thank you so much for the support. And so the Adele people, I think they call themselves the Daydreamers, which by the way, not a great name, but I think they've been very nice in response to this fact that, the show is not going to happen when they thought it would.
Well, I mean, because they get it. Like, you get it. When a show gets canceled, you get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very rough time. It's a very inconsistent time trying to do live shows.
Right.
I'm happy that live shows are still able to happen, even if it's not consistently.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard time. The people get it. It's just like, man, people like flew to Vegas for this and spent so much money.
And did you see that TikTok I sent you?
Yes, that poor girl.
There's this girl on TikTok who literally has tried to see Adele maybe 5 times, including flying to London. And then after all of these times, over the course of like 5 or 10 years or whatever, she gets tickets to opening night in Vegas and she cancels again. And it's just like, this is so sad and I feel awful for you, but like also iconic TikTok.
Oh, absolutely iconic life story that this girl has. And Adele needs to bring her back. Say Adele needs to give her a private concert or something.
Absolutely.
This girl is dedicated. This girl is committed.
She has to sing at her wedding.
Oh my God.
She must. Or if nothing else, they should meet on, well, I was going to say Ellen, but the Kelly Clarkson show.
Okay.
That should be an Adele and this young lady meet up because I just love that she is never giving up. Like the next time Adele schedules a date, you can tell, even though she's upset at the circumstances, she'll be first in line to get those tickets.
Oh, you must never give up.
Never give up.
Never, ever give up. And at least she got to maybe spend a nice weekend in Vegas.
Yeah, people like Vegas.
Fun. Yeah.
I love that. And I feel like a lot of those people, at least for opening night, were probably like scalpers or like super mega rich people who aren't like the biggest Adele fans anyway. So do I feel horrible for them? No. But I'm sure some fans did get screwed over like this lady did. But also I heard that Adele was like FaceTiming fans, like actually calling them on FaceTime and apologizing and stuff. So if you get a FaceTime from Adele, like worth that. I mean, yes, we all would have loved the live performance, but it's coming. It's coming. She's working on it. And it's just, it's an uncertain time. Omicron is kicking all of our asses. So
yeah, but
we're making it through the rain.
We're making it through the rain.
So the M&Ms. They are being redesigned for a more dynamic, progressive world. All that I've learned that this means for me is some of them have like mental illnesses that have been like like explained to all of us. Like, I think hold on, here we go. But now the personality is no longer being sexy. Like some of the M&Ms will have anxiety. The sexy M&M, the green M&M, is no longer wearing her boots and is wearing sensible sneakers. And, just different kind of to adapt to the world today. It just feels like we are making something out of nothing. Like, was anyone complaining about the M&Ms and their character?
I've never heard a complaint from anyone in my bubble. I don't know. To quote Whoopi Goldberg on The View that one time, okay.
Like,
I don't know what to say. I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of this maybe was just for the press release of it all to promote M&Ms. I don't know. I'm happy that chocolate exists. I don't know. I'm happy that you can still eat it in next month.
Right. The green M&M and the brown M&M will have a more friendly relationship, showcasing a force supporting women. The two characters' dynamic will have them together, throwing shine, not shade. It's like, okay. Right. Like, I feel like the more I read about it, the more like unnecessary and annoying it is. But I guess you could be right. I'm sure this is just a marketing ploy to get us to talk about. But it's like, does M&Ms need a marketing ploy?
Yeah,
I feel like M&Ms are doing good.
M&Ms are doing fine. Right. Sure. I mean, I don't know. I never really got M&Ms, but
and I feel like there's been more talk, if you're talking about the M&Ms characters, more talk about like the two women being in a lesbian relationship than any sort of talk. So like, just make them lesbians together.
That's hot.
That'd be so hot.
Like, come on.
Two little chocolate candies.
The one lesbian with the boots and the other one with the glasses, because the brown M&Ms, like, like smart.
They'd be so cute together.
They'd be adorable together.
That is like a reboot of M&Ms that I would pay to see.
Yeah, like I mean, I wonder if like there's an M&M porn out there.
Oh, did you need to put that in my fucking head right now? I didn't want to wonder that.
Oh, come on. I'm sure someone's thought of it, where it's, how like some people are into like people dressed as different characters. I wonder if there is a video out there of two women in like M&M costumes.
I'm not trying to yuck anyone else's yums. And again, two adult consenting women in costumes is better than what I was thinking, which was like a cartoonified sex.
No, there's not that much budget in porn. There's not going to be like an animated.
But maybe someone's trying to cut their teeth in animation and like this is the first thing. It's like how, 50 Shades of Grey was just fanfic about, what's one of those? Not Harry Potter. What was the fanfic about? Twilight. It was Twilight fanfic.
Was it?
It was, and it got turned into 50 Shades of Grey. So maybe there are little animators out there cutting their teeth with like sexual, pornographic M&M animation.
It's great to have a passion.
It is.
And I'm happy. I don't know how to animate, so if they know how to animate and that's what they choose to animate, I support their art.
I do too.
How did we get here?
I don't know. We were talking about, the anxious M&Ms.
Honestly, like M&M porn makes more sense than like some of these changes.
Honestly, like why the M&Ms have anxiety, I don't know. But I guess it's just 2022. Everybody has anxiety. So a movie that is I'll just talk about it now. One of my giving you moments is we watched Encanto. Oh my gosh. What a lovely little film.
I haven't seen it yet.
It is so heartwarming. Like, it's one of those movies that I feel like ever since Inside Out, Disney and Pixar have been tackling more serious issues, but like with a childlike lens, obviously. So this is truly a movie about family trauma.
Okay.
And like how that reverberates generationally. And it is lovely and wonderful and heartwarming and beautifully animated. Like some of those shots are like, shit. Like those people who started out doing that M&M porn have really come up. And are making something so beautiful. The songs are great. Lin-Manuel, his stamp is all over it. And one of the songs from the film, We Don't Talk About Bruno, is the highest charting song from a Disney animated movie in 26 years. And it has outpeaked Let It Go.
Has it?
Yes, I think it's number 4.
Oh, right damn. Now. Okay.
And it's a wonderful song. It is obviously amazing. But I would argue, not my favorite song from the film.
What's your favorite song?
There's a song called something. It's like Pressure or something about pressure. The character Luisa, who is like her superpower is having super strength, and she talks about the pressure of being the oldest girl, and it's just like it's a catchy bop about her feeling pressure from the family as the oldest. It's like, I'll just give her all of it. She can take it. She's older. She's stronger. She can handle it. But she's just like, What if I can't? And it's like, yes, Louisa.
Man, older children can relate. We can't.
I know.
We're the
young ones. That's why we have a podcast.
I know. Because our older brothers are real stressed out there somewhere.
Oh, Jackson texted from the back. Surface pressure is the title of the song.
Thank you, Jackson.
It's lovely to have
our
him
PA
here.
Jackson.
PA/boyfriend Jackson Musker. Surface pressure is the title of the song, and it is beautifully performed. It is so catchy. It is so Lynn, but it's like the bop. Like it literally is a pop song. Like it is so good.
All right. Well, when we need nobody talks about Bruno.
We don't talk about.
When we don't talk about Bruno gets the Oscar nomination for best song instead of
Surface pressure.
Are you gonna revolt? Are you gonna boycott the Oscars?
I mean, we don't talk about Bruno is good.
Okay.
I just hope they don't. They don't nominate both of them because we all remember what happened to Dreamgirls when they split the vote, when they nominated Listen along with, Love You I Do, and then that bad song. And that's split the vote when Listen should have won. I guess that's neither here nor there, but of course I'm still mad about it. There are certain award things that have happened in my time on Earth that I'm still mad about.
There are always learning experiences when it comes to award shows, and that was a learning experience for you and for me.
Yes. Were you rooting for Listen?
I love Listen.
Listen's a great song.
Listen was excellent. I remember when it first came out, and all the musical theater fans were just like, I bet this is going to be bad. And then we listened to it, and we were like, we'll allow it.
It's like,
we'll allow it.
Well, it's excellent.
Well, fine, Beyonce.
Fine, it's excellent. In a new segment of the podcast, I guess because we must have one. Here's who died this week. Like it's truly devastating, but it seems like ever since Betty White, which was New Year's Eve, right? It's just been so consistent. These legends and just sad stories of people passing away. Fashion icon Andre Leon Talley, who is, such an icon. I think he was the head editor of Vogue. He worked with Mariah during her Emancipation of Mimi era. There are many great, I think there was a Fox Family or ABC Family, whatever it was at the time, special that Mariah did around that time, and that highlighted their relationship. And he just seemed like a lovely guy who, and had done so much for fashion. Not that we're like fashion plates, but we cannot deny his importance. So may he rest.
I always loved watching him on America's Next Top Model. Is after everything was gauche to him. He was like, oh, it's very gauche, and I still don't know what gauche means, but I still use it.
I love it.
I try to use it and sound like I know what it means.
Good for you.
Thank you to Andre. Maybe one day I'll learn what it means.
Yes, I think it's always good to learn new words. Louis Anderson, comedian.
So icon. Sad, and he was quite young.
He was 68.
I think it was blood cancer or something.
It was definitely cancer. I don't know what type.
And everything I hear about him is obviously how talented he was and how great of an actor he was and a great comedian, but also how lovely of a human being he was. You look at any of his interviews and you're just like, oh my, what a charming, beautiful man who just seemed like he had such a huge heart, and it's so sad.
A story I recently read about him was actually from Casey Wilson's book, and she was at an award show, and at an after party where no one was really talking to her, and he sat down next to her being like, what's that really funny show you're on? And you're really funny on it, Happy Endings. He was talking about Penny. And then she's like, oh, I just saw you on this show where you are playing a woman, and I love how you're not making fun of being a woman at all. You're so sunken into the role. And he was like, I'm playing my mother. She is no longer with us, and I am playing her, and that's I always thought one day I'd play my dad, but I got to play my mom. And he just turns to her and just goes, is your mother still with us? And Casey's like, no. And she goes, and then he followed up with something that no one ever asks. And he goes, what was her name? And she's like, Kathy. And he's like, I'm sending love and light to Kathy. And just got up and just truly an angel. It's so lovely. Meatloaf also passed away.
I know.
Which is sad, of course. He wrote a beautiful song in It's All Coming Back to Me Now. And
it's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, that's a song he wrote.
He wrote that?
Yes.
Are you? I had no idea he wrote that.
Listen to it.
I mean,
again.
it's very. I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. It's very epic saga of a song. Brilliant.
Brilliant. I honestly, I could be wrong. He was either supposed to perform it or he wrote it. Either way, he was involved in that amazing song. And I would do anything for love. A brilliant song.
I like the best song that everyone loves, but no one knows what it's about.
Absolutely.
Iconic.
Absolutely. Did he die of COVID?
I don't know.
Okay, because he was very proudly unvaccinated.
Yes, he was.
Okay, we're going to talk quietly about this because he has passed away, and we don't wish ill of the dead, of course. But
extremely talented. Obviously, amazing performance in Rocky Horror Picture Show, iconic. And of course, iconic performance in Spice World as the bus driver.
Everyone should get vaccinated and get boosted.
Yes.
And then, I mean, not that any death is more sad than the other, but just like as far as length of life and like cause of death. Regina King, and the fact that her son passed away and died by suicide is just so devastating. I don't know. It's like you can't send more prayer and love to a person. It's just like, what an absolute nightmare. Like as a parent, it just has got to be worst case scenario. And it's just, it breaks my heart over and over and over again for her. So
I know. And I mean, everyone loves Regina King.
That's the thing.
How could everyone loves, she's one of our great actresses, like of our time. Everyone loves her. Like everyone who's worked with her has said how amazing she was. I was lucky enough to have like gotten to meet her and work with her for like a very short thing, but
even still,
she was nothing but lovely and wonderful. And her son seemed like such a sweet guy. And I, my heart goes out to her and her entire family. It's devastating.
Very sad. So I really truly hope next week we do not have this section of the podcast, but
do we have like another happy story coming up?
I mean, this is kind of happy. Ana de Armas fan sued because she was cut out of Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Apparently yesterday, that movie that came out about the guy who, somehow woke up in a world where the Beatles didn't exist. And so he just like got famous singing Beatles songs, saw this trailer of the movie has Ana de Armas in it, and then the actual movie does not have Ana de Armas in it because apparently it got cut out.
Yeah, and I didn't know she was in the trailer.
That was the whole thing.
That's like in Lee Daniels, The Butler. Melissa Leo has like a title card in the trailer as whose wife? One of the first ladies.
Whoa.
I forget. Was it Lyndon B. Johnson's wife? I forget.
Completely?
And she's completely cut out of the movie like after the trailer came out, and it's like, wow.
Well, to make up for the minor loss of $8 combined, they decided to make a lawsuit that is $625,000 cost, 625,000 times the cost of their troubles by suing for $5 million. Iconic.
What was the legal case they tried to argue for this? Because I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure the production house has the right to do that.
Look, I got called into jury duty this week. I don't have to go tomorrow, but we're going to keep calling every night, which is what one has to do. Fingers crossed I'm on this case. I feel like best case scenario.
Oh my God. That would be the best gay 12 Angry Men
God.
reboot ever.
I'd be like, you don't know how we feel about our queens. $5 million. Up it, 10 million.
Oh my God.
They need me.
11 straight and one angry queen being like, you don't understand.
It's like, I'm not voting that. No, I'm not voting that.
Justice for Anna. And then you slowly in a period of a couple hours, convince each person individually. Give it the Pulitzer.
Give it. Trying to think of other things of note. Olivia Rodrigo apparently has unfollowed her boyfriend Adam Faze amid breakup rumors. So
an album's coming.
I didn't say it.
I wish him the best.
Of course,
wish her the best.
But
I wish happiness.
Young people break up. That's okay. It's natural.
But an album's coming. So
an album's coming. But I also had heard before this happened that the new album was going to be called Sweet and Be Happier, which honestly, I didn't love that idea. So this will maybe be the left turn.
Maybe this one will be called Bitter.
I love that. Or
Salty. Salty works as well.
Salty I like a lot. And one that's just for me. Candy Burris of Real Housewives of Atlanta fame and Writing No Scrubs fame Bravo has released a trailer for her new television show, which is essentially Candy Pump Rules, as we're calling it. It is about working at OLG Restaurant, which is based in Atlanta, and all about the serving, the staff, and also her mom and her aunts who are a part of the OLG is the old lady gang. And so it's all the recipes are based off of her mom and her aunt's recipes and things. And so they are characters on the show. The kids being the messy servers who are sleeping with each other, part of the show. Okay. Candy and her husband Todd, a part of the show. Cannot wait.
I'm excited for you.
You know what? Vanderpump Rules has really been trying me this season. And the fact that we're starting over, we're in Atlanta, it's a scrappy new young bunch of people dying to make their way in the world. And the trailer looked amazing, and there was a queer person, everybody was a people of color. It just was this is what I would like to see.
And Candy's good at reality TV.
The best.
She's likable while still always like involved in the drama a little bit.
And even though she is, always playing the straight man, she knows how to pick people around her that are the dramatic.
Yeah, she's such a good straight man.
She's the best.
Such a good one.
The assistant, Don Juan, who's been messy in previous Atlanta seasons, is going to be on this show. Her mother and aunts are like always threatening to drag someone down the street. Okay. It's like they're in their 70s, but that's television. And then the servers, like, is there a messier group of people as a server yourself?
There's not a messier group of people.
This is what I want. So,
I mean, literally, my coworker thought that Kylie Minogue was a Jenner.
And that's a mess.
That's a mess.
That's a mess. And I want to see
We're praying for him.
We are. So watch out. I think that the show is actually called Candy and the Gang, but it's Candy Pump Rules. And everyone set your DVRs now because we're ready. Is there any other news that we'd like to report?
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
We are back.
It's true.
We are in focus.
Yes.
Email is up.
Focus on me.
Anyway, this is Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com, 2 spelled TWO.
Yes.
And you could also comment in the YouTube video if you are watching this on YouTube. But we've never gotten a question so far.
Hey, we've gotten some comments.
We've gotten some comments.
Yes.
Never a question. People like, the old fashioned way. They love a throwback.
For a throwback.
So first question comes to us from Bruno. The subject line is "One hit hitted me once." Hi, Mats. It's me again. I won't be long. So what I want to know is, who is your favorite one-hit wonder artist? And also, is there an artist with many hits that you only like one song? Which is
hilarious.
One of the funniest questions
that is
we've ever
so
gotten.
funny.
And I'm so devastated I don't have
I know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. There's also a second question.
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry. He says, P.S. If my second question wasn't clear, imagine that straight guy that only likes Toxic by Britney Spears.
Ew.
Are you like that with someone? Have a great week. I was listening to Toxic today at work because it was playing, and I thought, this is off the topic, but I was just like, there is no pop song like this in the slightest at all. No. What an iconic standalone piece of brilliance. Anyway, to answer the question.
Yes. Who's your favorite one-hit wonder artist?
I truly don't know. I mean, does Carly Rae Jepsen count as one?
I was thinking her a little bad. I mean,
because in the gay bubble, she's
not an icon. She's a legend.
Icon, a legend.
She's the moment.
Many hits, but in terms of like if we're talking Billboard Hot 100, how it does in the grand sphere of things, she doesn't have another song that comes anywhere close to "Call Me Maybe."
Yeah, that's true.
Which is devastating.
It's too bad. I think that's a good choice, and an unfortunate that we have to admit that to ourselves. That it's a good choice. But I feel like there was a 90s R&B singer by the name of Jesse Powell, and he had a song called "You," and it literally was like just a showcase for a male whistle register. It is so great. The chorus is literally just like, "Baby, it's you." And then he just keeps going up and up and up. And I'm like, yes, you better be whistling by the end of this song. And it's just like underneath his vocals, like, "The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you say, the way you smile."
This sounds great.
Oh my God. And so, of course, childhood me was very invested. I was like, Jesse Powell's the next big thing. He's coming, people. And he never came. But I loved him.
Okay.
A talent.
Are we also going to count Normani?
No.
Okay.
No. Wild Side went to #1 on Urban Radio.
Okay.
There's more music coming out. Also, she had Dancing with a Stranger.
Okay. That's true.
That's true. Very much a hit, along with Motivation. It was a duet.
Okay.
They are both credited.
It's not on her album.
We don't know what's on her album.
Okay. Is it going to be Dancing with a Stranger part 2?
If it's a bonus track, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'll try to think of someone who's had more hits that I only like one song, because that is a funny question.
Yeah, I guess, is there like a huge pop star that you're just like, I'm not impressed? Like...
Not
like with any of their repertoire except for one.
I'm trying to think. I really love Sean Paul's Temperature, which I feel like came up recently for us.
Yes.
But I can't think of another song of his that I like, especially not to that degree. That song is a classic.
Oh, I mean, I told everyone it is my high school dance.
Yes.
High school dance, absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Another question comes to us from John.
Hey, John.
Masked Singer, aka Jewel Appreciation. Hey, Mats. First of all, I don't recall if you've spoken about her in the past, but after a spoiler alert recent winning stint on The Masked Singer, I've recently gotten into Jewel. Her story, her sound, and her lyricism are incredible, and I'm ashamed it's taken me this long to get into her. What are your thoughts on her music? Second, have you dived into The Masked Singer at all? 6 seasons of B and below list celebrities in some inspired costumes later, and for some reason I'm still hooked. There's no real voting. Eliminations are arbitrary, but I love a good guessing game paired with some incredible vocal performances. No spoilers for the other contestants, but some true icons who deserve more mainstream success have found their way into outfits ranging from dogs, food, flowers, and an angel costume that still haunts me to this day. Here's some wild clips if you wanted to guess along.
That's funny.
Thank you, John. I will never watch The Masked Singer.
I won't either.
Those costumes are so creepy.
Yeah, they're off-putting.
Horrifying.
Yeah, it's hard. And I think it's just a little too kitschy for me to get on board. Like, I just can't. The whole concept of it, also, when it's so obvious who someone is and you can tell the panel is faking and being like, is it Beyonce? It's like, you think Beyonce motherfucking Knowles would be here, ma'am? Like, Nicole Scherzinger, shut up. No.
Maybe it's Farrah.
Okay.
But maybe Farrah will make an appearance.
No one's guessing Farrah.
Okay.
But yes, so I won't watch it. I do when I find out that there's an artist I care about on The Masked Singer, like when JoJo was on The Masked Singer, I do go through and watch all the performances of that person. I still watch Toni Braxton performances. I can't believe she got kicked off as early as she did. So that was upsetting. But did Nick Lachey beat JoJo? Someone beat JoJo, and I'm like still mad about it.
Oh, girl, I don't know who wins these things.
But like they win because they're like the best singer.
Oh no! I thought the concept of The Masked Singer was like if they never guess who you are, then you win. Like the more mysterious you can make yourself, the better you do in the. I didn't know it was like an actual who's the best.
I
singer,
think it's who's the best singer like based on votes, and then you only get unmasked if you have the lowest number of votes.
That's so sad because like what if you're someone who's just like a professional singer and like I've had hits and you get no votes.
That's what the lowest amount of votes on Toni Braxton when she got voted off like second.
That's
it's like
horrible.
I know.
I thought whole because it's like the game shows in like the 50s or whatever where like a panel is masked and celebrities come in and they ask yes or no questions. What's it called? What's my line? Whatever. I forget I think it's called What's My Line.
Right.
And the whole point was like the celebrity wins if they never guess who it is and if they are able to disguise themselves enough. So when I found out it was like an actual singing competition, I was like, oh no.
Upsetting.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
But what about Jewel?
What about Jewel? Okay, my memories of Jewel, I remember when Who Will Save Your Soul first came out in like 1995, and that was her first hit. I remember her being in a bathroom stall in the video.
Yes.
I remember playing on VH1 every morning all the time. She had many hits from that first era. I think it was Pieces of You was the album. I'm trying to remember. The thing is, and the one song I did not like by her that was a big hit was, what was that song? Oh God, the one that was on a soundtrack for something. I can't find it right now, but I find it annoying and I'll find it for you soon.
I'm trying to think of Jewel songs.
I love Hands.
Hands
is a classic
Hands is
song.
a classic piece
Foolish Games. I always hated Foolish Games. And it's such a big hit. You Were Meant for Me is lovely though.
Okay.
I think and Hands I always really liked. I feel like I know her singles pretty well, but I don't know the album tracks. I was just listening to what was the single off of this one? This way, Standing Still. Am I standing still? Liked it.
Okay.
So yes, I knew the singles back in the day, and I was like not as offended by her like turn to pop because I remember she like put out a song, Intuition, follow your heart, your intuition, and it was used for.
I remember that song.
You remember it? And everyone turned on her essentially because like you've gone pop, and how dare you use these electronic beats?
No. Did she have like an alley poster as well with different colors?
It was very much that story, and I feel like hopefully The Masked Singer has revitalized things a bit, but I feel like it was never quite the same for her after that. And It's like, was that song that we used in like a Nair or like a Venus commercial that bad? Like, well, who cares? Like, so what?
My history with Jewel is I remember like being a little kid and like MTV was on and I remember the Save Your Soul, Who Will Save Your Soul music video when she was in the bathroom stall. And I remember being like, this is in black and white. And the song is kind of like low key. This is for adults. This is not for me. So whenever I think of Jewel, I always think of like, this is real mature. This is adult music. Cause that's what I thought when I was a little kid.
Right.
And of course I always think of her iconic duet with Jessica Simpson.
I was just thinking about that.
Which is Guy, we've talked about this before.
I'm sure. But
and you all must know.
If you're listening to this, you have to know. And if you don't know, just go on YouTube right now, Google Jewel Jessica Simpson duet. And like, if you can stand secondhand embarrassment, like if you like the comeback starring Lisa Kudrow, you'll love this video.
It's truly,
like, Jessica, please.
Truly brilliant.
Please.
I love it.
And Jewel's looking at her like, bitch. Like, what are you doing? Iconic. So...
we also have an email from Maxwell.
Oh, hey, Maxwell.
And it's not a question, but something important that I think Matt Palmer would like to talk about.
I would.
It says, "To my Walk by Griff stands." Matt, so I know you guys love Griff's EP, One Foot in Front of the Other. At least Matt Palmer is constantly raving, as he should be.
Excellent.
And I am in the camp that it is the most underrated music project of last year. I loved the project so much when I saw it for a good price on vinyl, I had to buy it for myself. While I was playing it for the first time, I realized one of the standout tracks, Walk, is not only different from the studio version on Spotify, but improves on the song. I wasn't sure if it was just a mistake on my record, but I went to YouTube only to find that the lyric video has this version of the song as opposed to the studio version that Spotify has. I linked it below in case you weren't aware of this, and I would love to hear your thoughts on which version is better, if one is better than the other. I love when there are demo versions and studio versions of songs, but I hate when I feel the final iteration chosen is not the best. Also, just wanted to know if both your favorite tracks on the album, assuming Steele's listened as well. I hope you both are staying safe and healthy.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. We are staying safe and healthy. My favorite tracks on the album are actually Walk, I think is my favorite, but I love Black Hole and the title track One Foot in Front of the Other a lot as well. I did not know that a separate version of Walk existed. I went to the lyric video and was like, wait, what? It's the same song. It's in a different key.
Oh.
And she's like, singing so on her voice that she's almost belting during the verses. And like the version on Spotify is very like understated, like we're cool Billie Eilish people. And then the version on Spotify, just in comparison, is like, we're doing the fantasy verses. And it's great. I love both versions. I may like the lyric video version better because, you know, I love a good vocal.
Okay.
But I do think it's just like, wait, why are we hearing different versions of this song? Why are they both out in the ether? I also felt like I hate finding old versions of songs and like the final version not being as good is truly like Gaga Babylon shade. Because so many Little Monsters were so upset about the final version of Babylon, which I think is still great, but people were so excited about the one that came before. But whatever.
It's great to be blissfully unaware, as I was when I first heard Babylon, and I was like, this is one of the best things I've heard this year.
Have you heard the demo version yet?
Not the demo version. Like, I feel like there's like the House Labs version.
That one's not
and like all these different things. And I feel like I've never heard the demo version that people are talking about.
There's a version out there that I will say is excellent.
Okay.
And I'll look for it for you. But I think Griff is amazing. And she also just put out a new single with Sigrid, I believe her name is, called Head on Fire. And that song is very good. Yeah. Shout out to Corey who sent me that. He sends me a lot of music. Half of it I don't listen to, but that one I did. And I was like, yes.
I remember you talked about this album, and I listened to it on a walk one day. Oh. And I mean, it was all great. It was. I remember liking the first song.
Black Hole.
Black Hole. Yeah, I remember liking the first song, but then I got to Walk, and I was like, oh wait, this is
all you got to do is walk.
This is a hit,
a monster hit,
amazing song.
I love it. Yeah. I love her. Yeah. So, Matt Steele, I have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
What has been giving you moments, darling?
Well. So I did other things this week. I went clothes shopping. Oh. Because, okay, this is going to be a little complex, but we'll try to get through it.
All right, here we go.
So my mom, her like credit card that she uses, like every year she gets gift cards from like a clothing store of her choosing. It could be the Gap or blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And they always send like $150, and she always has them split the card in two, and she gives my brother one and me one for like Christmas every year. So every year I get like a $75 Gap gift card or whatever.
Sweet.
And I'm always like, oh yeah, I put it in my little wallet where I have all my gift cards and everything. And I always think in my head, I used this. And I looked in the wallet and I was like, I have like 7 cards.
Had you used any of them?
I thought I did.
Oh my God.
Literally, I was like, I feel like I've used partials of these.
Right.
And there was only one that I like only started to use. So I went to I looked all of them up.
Yeah.
I had so much money, like so much money in Gap.
That is
so
hilarious.
I went to the Gap and I bought so many clothes. I didn't even use up all the gift cards because I was like, I should not buy a lot of winter clothes because there's like 2 months of winter, if that, in LA. I should wait for the spring stuff. But I still bought a lot of clothes, and the Gap's kind of expensive. But so I was so proud of myself. Then I got an email from American Eagle, and I'm like a card care member or whatever. And it was like, you have a $60 reward. Use it. So I went online, looked at my account. I didn't have a $60 reward. I had like six $60
what
rewards
is happening
that
to
I
you?
just like didn't know existed.
Wow.
And so I'm revamping my underwear at the moment. I'm buying like all new underwear, and underwear is expensive.
It is.
And I wear American Eagle underwear, fact.
Okay.
The trunk versions. And so I got all new underwear, all this stuff. This week, I got over $650 worth of clothes for free, bitch. And that is giving me moments. And I still have Gap gift cards left over.
Wow. I can't believe you had all of this money and had no idea. Like,
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed with how I just took these cards for granted. And it was just like, and like I like almost didn't use them.
the thing is, you should, if you had thrown them out or something, you should be embarrassed. Like this all worked out. Everything's fine. It was just a little delayed satisfaction.
Because I would always like see them in this wallet and be like, oh, I should use that.
Right.
I should use that. And I just like never did. But it, like as the years went on, I'm like, I think I've used it, but I just like never did. And so I need to like get rid of a bunch of clothes before I like put these new clothes into drawers and everything. So it was a shopping week for Matt Steele, shopping for clothes.
Look at you.
Like, I mean, they know about the apartment stuff that like I'm buying, but like you don't want to hear about that again.
I feel like we've earned a house tour once it's ready.
Oh yeah.
Like we got to just see how it all.
Oh, because these people are tired of listening and watching with no visuals.
There has to be a final moment of like, this is what it now looks like.
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
Yes.
So for me, a couple of things gave me moments, a couple of things we've already talked about. So Encanto, great film, very much enjoyed it. Also Waitress, the musical, when I saw it in Thousand Oaks, very much enjoyed it. Can't rave about both of them enough. I must also say a new album was released this week by an artist named Years and Years. And you hear me say artist name because they were a band and two of the members quit. And thus it is just Ali Alexander, and he is Years and Years on his own now. So, okay.
Wait, just one
Yes, don't tug at the thread.
All right.
Just one person is Years and Years now, and he put out his album. It's entitled Night Call, and I feel like I don't feel like there's been like blowback against it, but I feel like there's definitely a certain group of people who want the album to not be bad and to be able to fire off tweets. Like I saw one coming out that was like, Years and Years is the first time like all the straight people left something and it got worse. And it's like, okay, bitch. Like, I get it. You want like a hit tweet, but this album's actually excellent. And the fact that it's just dance pop and it's like gay music, people feel like, I was clearly just.
Ooh, this is gay music. I'm looking at that album cover.
I know, he's a merman.
Ooh, she's a mermaid, baby. That is
here.
Ariel on a rock.
It's true.
Love
and
it.
I just feel, of course, I was like looking up reactions to this video, like not like video reactions, but like on Twitter to see what people were saying. Most of them were very positive. A lot of them, like especially the like actual critic reviews, people were like 4 or 5 stars. Like, this is a great collection of dance pop music, which it is. But I feel like so many people are excited to say like, or like are minimizing it to say like, oh, he's just doing such generic dance pop, and like what he was doing before was like had indie cred and like blah blah blah. Ugh. And it's like, guys, this little gay man who had a giant success last year with It's a Sin is allowed to do whatever fucking kind of music he wants. He has the voice of an angel, and the songs are excellent pop music. It's not like he is making stuff that's like, you know, B-level, like Jason Derulo B-sides, no shade. This is like really sophisticated and beautifully performed and produced pop music. Consequences, that opening track, I'm obsessed with. Sweet Talker, the single with Galantis, I'm obsessed with. I love Make It Out Alive. I love Intimacy. Night Call, the title track. There's so much great pop music on this record, and just because it is 80s inspired, because again, he was acting his face off and It's a Sin, so he's very much surrounded by like 80s gay dance club culture. It makes sense that he'd make an album like this.
Yeah.
And it is sophisticated. It's beautifully performed. The melodies are great. It's inventive. I just feel like any sort of blowback I have read about it, I have taken personally. And I need us all to listen with fresh ears and fresh eyes. And like, yes, the sound is different. He's no longer in the band. He's free to do whatever he wants. In an interview, he was like, you know what? It's like a breakup. We just were going through musically. We couldn't find the one sound we all wanted. the word pop became kind of a bad word when describing our music internal, like as far as the band goes.
Wow.
And so let him live out his gay dance pop fantasies. And
let him be Allie with the billboard.
Oh, stop with Allie. I do just want us all to give the album a listen. I love the single Starstruck. I love the remix with Kylie Minogue. He also has the other duet with Kylie Minogue, Second to Midnight. That was on the deluxe edition of Disco. So if you haven't heard it, it's a great song, great video in which they're like twins and like you mix up who's who. It's great.
I love that.
I just can't recommend. I love that. Like, I think my last 2 weeks have just been like, I love this gay artist's album, but a lot of gay people are making great albums and I feel like we're not talking about the greatness of them enough.
Right.
And so listen to Night Call, listen to Vincent's There Will Be Tears, and listen to The Fucking Good Parts by Matt Palmer. Great gay music out for your consumption.
I guess I should make an album now too.
I mean, if you want.
Yeah.
It's not saying all gay people's music is good, but if you have me on your side, darling, we'll make sure it's great.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I'll borrow your Pro Tools password.
I'll control the Pro Tools.
Okay. Thank you for supporting my artistry.
This is what we do.
But that sucks that people are being negative about it. Because,
I know.
This very, very talented. And I mean, shocker, people on the internet want to be negative. Like between him and poor Rachel Zegler.
I know.
Zegler, I will never know. It. But like, come on, guys, be positive.
Be positive. I love that we're saying this. 2 bitchiest girls on the internet, but it's true.
There are bitchier.
They're bitchier.
Yeah,
they're bitchier.
The queens on Twitter are way bitchier than we are. Like,
truly.
That's where niceness goes to die.
It's true.
Yeah, and it's devastating and horrible. Don't get wrapped up in it. Just
rise above.
Let it roll off.
Like Candy would say, I rise above all the haters. Hey, is there anything else we need to tell the people before we say goodbye?
I don't believe so.
I don't either.
We love you. I'm glad we were in focus this whole video.
Yes, I think so too. And thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.